Welcome to Sleep Time, where I read short stories that hopefully calm your mind a little bit. Chapter 6. Big Monkey Teeth. I don't like hiding things from Mom. It makes me feel like I'm betraying her. But I learned a long time ago that sometimes it's best for both of us if I keep certain things to myself. Like Ella May, for example. I was about 4 years old when I first realized that I had to keep Ella May to myself. The doc had been coming around to see me, and afterward, while he was talking to Mom, I was sitting on the floor looking through one of my favorite picture books, and it just so happened that Ella May suddenly came to me. "Are you all right, Elliot?" she asked. "What did the doc say this time?" "He wants me to see a special doctor," I told her. "What kind of special doctor?" "A brain doctor." "Why?" "To stop me from being frightened." "Elliot," it wasn't Ella May's voice this time. For a second I didn't know what was happening. Then Mom spoke again. "What are you doing, Elliot?" "Who are you talking to?" I looked up at her. "It's Ella May." "Who?" "Ella May." Mom looked puzzled as she turned to the doc. I could see she was worried about it too. "Who's Ella May, Elliot?" the doc asked me. "My sister." "Your sister?" I nodded. The doc turned to Mom. "Ella May?" Mom shook her head, and I could see now that there were tears in her eyes. "You didn't get it from me," she muttered, her voice catching in her throat. "You know, I couldn't bear to give her a name. He must have made it up himself." "Have you heard him talking to her before?" I always thought he was talking to himself." She was crying now, tears running down her face. I got up, went over to her, and put my arms around her neck. "Don't cry, Mommy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry." "It's all right, darling," she said, sobbing. "It's not your fault." But it was my fault. Whose else's fault could it have been? And ever since then, I only talk aloud to Ella May when we're alone. Another thing I learned not to say out loud was Munkum. Munkums are all the people in the world except for Mom, Auntie Shirley, and Doc. I call them Munkums because they come to me in my dreams as horrible, scary things with hairy monkey bodies and long, grasping arms and bandy legs and little human heads with vicious, gritted mouths with their lips pulled back over nasty, big monkey teeth. That's what other people are to me. Terrible things that want to rip me apart and eat me. Munkums. The first time I said it in front of Mom, she told me I mustn't say it anymore. "Why not?" I asked her. "You can't call people monkeys, Elliot." "Munkums," I corrected her, "not monkeys." "Well, that's as may be," she said, which made no sense to me at all. "But people might think you're saying monkey, like I just did, and they might think you're being horrible to them." She gave me a look. "You don't want anything to think you're being horrible to them, do you?" I told her I didn't, and since then I only ever use the word when I'm on my own or with Ella May. Not that it makes any difference. The way I react to Munkums screaming my head off and running away in terror, they must think I'm crazy anyway, so what does it matter if they think I'm horrible as well? And besides, even at that age, 3 or 4 years old, I was very rarely seeing anyone else apart from Mom, Shirley, and the doc, so the chances of me upsetting a Munkum by calling them a Munkum were virtually non-existent. I wish this was easier. I wish I could just lay my hands on your head and transfer what's inside me to you. I wish I could be me, if only for a moment, so you know exactly how I feel. But that's not going to happen, is it? Wishes never come true. Chapter 7. The Snow Globe. Shake it. Like this. It's 12 minutes past 3 now, and I'm back in my room. Still hatted and booted and gloved, still sticky skin from the drying cold sweat, and still sick to my bones with fear. "What are you doing, Elliot?" Ella May says, sounding confused and slightly frustrated. "I thought we were ready to go. I thought we'd—" "It's all right," I tell her. "I've just remembered something. That's all. It won't be a minute." I cross the room and go into the bathroom. "Oh, right," LMA says. "I see." She thinks I'm going to the toilet. "No, it's not that," I tell her, opening the cabinet above the sink. "I'm just checking to make sure there aren't any pills in here that I've forgotten about." "You've already done that." I'm double checking. "You've already done that as well." I'm triple checking then. There are 4 empty brown glass pill bottles in the cabinet. I always keep a few empty ones, just in case I break one or something. And LMA's right. I have already checked each of them twice. But sometimes I get riddled with doubts about all kinds of stupid little things. And there's something inside me that won't let me rest until I've hammered those doubts into the ground. So I check all the bottles again. Take one out, shake it, like this. Unscrew the cap, look inside, turn it upside down and tap it against my palm. Nothing. Empty. I put the cap back on, place it to one side, take the next bottle out of the cabinet, shake it, like this. Unscrew the cap, look inside. Nothing. I go through the same process with the other 2 bottles. They're both empty too, as I knew they would be. Satisfied? Not yet. I start removing everything else from the cabinet. Packets of pills for headaches and indigestion, eczema cream, toothpaste, toothbrush, and when all the shelves are completely empty, I stand there scanning the dusty emptiness for any specks of yellow, hoping against hope that if I look hard enough, I'll find a stray pill, but I don't. So then I reach up and start running my fingers through the dust, feeling around in every little corner of the shelves, every little gap between the shelves and the back of the cupboard, every possible place where a small yellow pill could be lodged. There's nothing there, no doubt about it. I close the cabinet, reach into my pocket, and pull out my current pill bottle. I give it a shake. Like this, and the last remaining pill rattles thinly against the glass. I close my eyes for a second and think again about taking it out now. The last one I took is beginning to wear off, and I can already feel the first faint streams of the thing I dread the most, the beast that is the fear of fear itself. And I know that if I don't take the pill now, save it for later, LMA says. I don't think I can. You're probably going to need it later a lot more than you need it now. I know she's right. I know I have to wait. I shake the bottle one more time. One more time. Like this. And put it back in my pocket. Is that it? LMA says. Can we go now? It's gonna be completely dark outside if we don't go soon. I know, I tell her, crossing over to the bedside table, picking up my flashlight. That's why we need this. I switch it on to make sure it's working. I already know that it is. I check it every night, and I put new batteries in it a couple days ago. But I go ahead and check it anyway. It works. The beam's strong and bright. I drop the flashlight into my coat pocket, turn to leave, then stop, and slowly turn around. What now? Says Ella. The snow globe was a gift from Auntie Shirley. She'd been on a day trip to Whitby with her son, Gordon, and when she was looking around one of the souvenir shops, she'd spotted a snow globe that she really liked. In fact, she liked it so much that she'd brought 2 of them, one for herself and one for Mom. I'd never seen a snow globe before, so when Mom finally showed it to me, after thinking long and hard about whether it would frighten me or not, I had no idea what it was. I remember holding it in my hands and gazing curiously at it, wondering what on earth it could be. A small glass dome filled with clear liquid, with a miniature woodland scene inside. It was a fairy tale scene. Little Red Riding Hood walking through the woods with the big bad wolf. And although the small plastic figures and plastic trees weren't particularly well made or anything, there was something about them, something about the whole thing, that felt very special to me. Shake it, Mom said, smiling. I didn't know what she meant. Like this, she told me, gesturing with her hand. I copied her, awkwardly shaking the globe, I was so surprised when it filled up with a blizzard of tiny snowflakes that I actually cried out in delight. Mom was so relieved that I wasn't scared of the snow globe, and even more pleased that I actually seemed to like something for a change. But she let me keep it, and it's been sitting on my shelf ever since. Shirley keeps her snow globe on the windowsill of her living room, and on the few occasions when I've been to her house visiting with Mom, I've always wondered if there's some kind of connection between our two identical snow globes, some kind of at a distance awareness of each other, or something. I don't know. What is it, Elliot? Says Ella. Nothing, I tell her, looking away from the snow globe. What did you see? What do you mean? You know what I mean. What did you just see now in the snow globe? Nothing. She knows I'm lying. She always knows. Just tell me, she says quietly. What did you see? It was snowing, like someone had shaken it up. That's what made me look at it, and I saw something, or I thought I did. In the snow, in the whole thing. What was it, Elliot? What did you see? I was in there, in the snow globe, or something of me was in there. A bedraggled figure limping along the pathway through the woods, snow falling in the darkness. Great black trees all around me, their white-topped branches glinting in the unknown light, and up ahead of me an endless climb of rough wooden steps leading up a steep-sided slope. That's what I saw. It was all there, all in a timeless moment, and then it was gone again. And all that remained of it was an unfamiliar and unsettling feeling of deadness in my heart.